No way will I get invited. I'm already deep inside it. I can't shake it, I can't hide it. I am the outsider. No reason to get excited. We don't have to be so divided. I can't shake it, I can't hide it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Swansonville. I am Joe Finley.
And I'm Angie Finley.
And we are the Swansons. Hope y'all are having a wonderful week this week.
That's right. And this is Welcome to Swansonville Podcast.
That's right. And
Episode 12.
Episode number 12.
It's been a dozen.
We got a dozen done. That's nice. We got some great news this morning, right? So here's the news. We've been summoned to write a song/jingle for a radio station, a very prominent radio station.
Yeah, here in Southern California.
Here in Southern California, with a radio personality that is extremely well known.
I was going to say, friends and fans. A fan of the Swansons.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's exciting news to sort of wake up to. And we said yes.
Yeah, and we can't wait to tell you guys about it, but you're going to have to stay tuned.
Yes. So we're going to finish writing that and recording that this week.
And it literally was, I feel like it's a gift. Totally.
Oh, yes. It's just incredible the way that the whole thing transpired. Is got God's hands all over it.
Right, and that's all we can tell you guys for now. But so let's tell them more about something else we can get into more detail.
Well, speaking about the Lord, right?
Yes.
Had some very, I would call it highly unusual
current events that have taken place.
These events that have taken place. And you're right. This man from church that we have not met.
We've never met, right? Just through Lori, our vocal coach.
Right. Has been inspired by the Lord to write these song lyrics, and he is not a musician.
Right. And he doesn't have the music to go with it.
He doesn't have the music to go with it, and he thought that he may be going crazy.
That's right, but there was one particular song that he felt the Lord was telling him is for Lori.
For Lori.
The lyrical content.
Who is our vocal coach, and what is her company's name?
Lori Lindley is her name, but Lori Kibbe Vocal Training. Right.
Lori Kibbe Vocal Training.
Episode 1.
So she had told us this story about this man, just generally, and she had this lyric sheet that he propositioned her to write, and she had given it an attempt over the course of a week. Which time we returned for another lesson. And at the end...
I was going to say, she keeps bringing it up week after week in these lessons.
Well, she brought it up again and had asked if I would take it with me and see what I could do with it. So
Since Joe's here, a songwriter, she basically was bringing it up to see if you'd be open to even doing something, because have you done something like this before?
I've never done anything like this before in my life, and I so readily agreed to this thing. You know what I mean? I was
open-minded. I would call it. You were very open-minded.
I was very open-minded. I took it as if it was an assignment that was for me and that I needed to complete for her. Okay, so that being said, we returned home and had a number of other things to do. I looked at the lyric sheet just real briefly before we left, and it had the word fervently. I could see it several times in the song, the word fervently, which is a brilliant word. It's a great word.
I know.
Look
I'm
it
not
up.
familiar
It's a
with
great.
it.
It's an.
That's
it means
how
it,
not
I mean,
good
it is
my
so intense, right?
My
To
vocabulary.
be fervent. Yeah. So that's what that's.
So what does it mean? What is
that's what
fervent?
the sort of the meaning of the word is intense. It is intense like fire. You know what I mean? So it's called Fervent Fire is the name of this man's song, but the word fervently relates well to fire because it's intense like that. So when you apply that word,
it's an adjective that would describe. Right.
But as a songwriting word, I didn't find it very friendly. So the idea that I had in my head, which I had told you immediately following, was that it wasn't lyrically friendly, and I probably wasn't going to be able to do too much with it. And I didn't want to feel overburdened with it if I wasn't able to deliver on it. I was really backing away from the whole thing in its
I
entirety.
remember you telling me that you didn't, because I asked you after we had received it, well, are you going to do something with it? You know, I was excited because I just wanted to know, like, how quickly you're going to do it, you know? And you told me that you were like, I don't think I'm going to be able to use that word, fervent fire. Like, it's nothing. I can't.
I didn't even
use
see
it.
the fire. I
Right.
just saw fervently, and I'm trying to think of, what do you do with fervently?
Right.
Where do
So
where
you
do
had
you go?
expressed to me like, you know, I looked at it and it didn't really do anything for me, so I'm just gonna kind of put it aside. And then what happened?
I put it aside, so that was Friday, on a Friday. And Saturday morning I was writing a bridge to another song, this country blues thing, I Don't Want to Wait. So we just had that return from Nashville with the bridge portion, and I was intent on finishing that. And while I was writing that, this song kept popping into my head, and I think my conscience was just alerting me to the fact that I made a commitment to this thing, right? And while I'm writing, why not take a look at this thing and fulfill my obligation? You know what I mean? So kind of get it over with, you know? And whatever happens with it happens. And I didn't really feel this overwhelming sense of having to deliver something great. You know what I mean? It was just like, just deliver something back. And so I succumbed to my conscience and came to the music room here and began to put together some chords with my guitar and sing this man's words, which were inspired
And
by the Lord.
what chords did you use?
I started with a D, just a D. Kind of started with that, you know what I mean? So I could, Lord, I come to you within an open heart of praise. You know, like that. So real soft and pretty. And the words just flowed out of me as I'm reading them off the paper, brilliantly, as if they were already written. You know what I mean? Like it was too incredible. It was overwhelming. It took me down. I had to stop. I began recording it on my phone, and I started breaking up. You know, I started to cry uncontrollably. Really, is what happened. And contacted Lori via text, wanting more specifics about the lyrical content and where these words came from, and a little bit more background about this man, David Wells. And she told me that the words came to him from the Lord in the middle of the night, and they just knocked me down. I went to the piano and started playing those chords on the piano. The rest of the changes, everything just came very, very naturally. From first verse through the third verse out, and I didn't change any of his words. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have to start crafting or recrafting the song. It was written brilliantly by this man's inspiration, and I felt so fortunate to have been a part of this thing. I was still scared I haven't spoken to this man up until that point, and we still haven't met him. But I had the privilege of having a conversation with him on the phone for quite some time to talk about the song, other things that he's been inspired to write. And it's just an amazing story of the Lord and faith and God and how he works through people and uses us for his purpose and his glory. And that's what happened with this song, Fervent Fire, by now David Wells and Joseph P. Finley of the Swansons. And we'll be... it's in the process of being recorded in Nashville, the musical portion, and we'll be singing that.
Great job.
Sometime
by
next
the way.
week.
It's such a great song. Can't wait for all you guys to hear it.
Yeah, well, thank you. I know it got very serious there, but what an amazing thing to happen to just walk right into your life like that, right in the middle of everything else that we're doing musically. I didn't anticipate any free time to start working on somebody else's musical projects. That wasn't, in my plans of not that I make too many of them.
It's good that you keep an open mind because I feel like if without the idea of being open to doing something that you don't normally do, and it's not on the schedule to do. I was just saying is we don't know where we're headed when we're on a journey of life, right? We're just trying to be who God created us to be, and sometimes He puts stuff in our path that we're not used to, right?
Our musical journey from its inception till now has been very, very spiritual, when we have followed our intuition, and it has led us to some beautiful places. So thank you,
Mind-blowing.
Lord. Yes, it's been an incredible, this country, this journey, man. This has been something else. So in the country, this journey, this thing just comes at us kind of sideways and beautifully.
Yeah, what I was going
David
to say is that
Wellston.
we're not even sure if it would ever be on necessarily a Swansons album, but I mean, obviously, if David wants it and we want it, and we can release it as a single.
A single.
Own, yeah, as a Christian song
Yes.
by the Swansons.
That's the
of
plan.
course.
That is happening.
Right,
That's-
right.
Yeah,
So it's in production.
that's right.
So
And
when it becomes available, we'll of course be sharing it with you guys.
That's right.
And when it gets up to par to where we can sing it for you, we will. But I don't feel.
We might share a little bit of that today. You never know. You just never.
I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know.
So we had a show at a really cool place.
And it wasn't at the Whiskey.
We've been playing at the Whiskey a lot,
All
haven't
the
we?
time, man. And we'd love to tell you more about every show at the Whiskey, but we're not going to bring up every single show at the Whiskey. We're going to talk
We
about
play
the
it at the Whiskey
Silverlake
Go Go
Lounge.
pretty frequently nowadays, and it really is. It's a great place.
It's an honor.
It's a great place to play.
So
man,
many
you know.
legends have played that stage. I mean,
Yeah, and
literally, we
it's
played
just
there on a Friday.
incredible. The lighting, the sound, the people,
I was
the
going to say, they've been
experience,
upping their
everything.
game. They've been
Yeah,
upping their game because they had Kiss there on a Monday, and we played that Friday.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, just days away, legends. And then there we are. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
The Kiss, the Swansons.
But let's talk about
So
Silverlake Lounge,
Silverlake Lounge.
which is in Los Angeles.
It is.
And it's so it's like, you know how the cities go and they have their little neighborhoods. So this is an area that's called Silver Lake, but I don't think it's on the address. It's Los Angeles.
And Silverlake Lounge is, if you're not familiar with this club, bar, venue, it's basically a dive bar.
It is.
That's
It's
what
a
it
dive
is.
bar, and it's on Sunset.
It's on Sunset.
But it's
It's known for being a dive bar, and it draws a lot of people, and a lot of highly respected entertainers have performed at this place,
right,
and
and
they
it's
continue to.
an artist. I would
Yes,
say
artist.
it's very well known for its independent acts and its independent
Burlesque is what
and
it's originally known
and
for.
drag.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the drag queen shows, which they
That's-
still do.
They still do
to this
but
day.
That's what made them the famous dive bar that they are.
And they have a great sound system, so we love to play there because
They do. And so the funny thing about the show, before we talk about the actual show, is that we tend to return to the Silverlake Lounge because of our relationship with the promoter. And
yeah.
So he has helped, us in our careers by putting us on stages that have helped us in a lot of ways. So we met him through our very first show that we ever played live was at
Molly Malone's.
Malone's.
Yeah, and I was gonna say is that we can't wait to have his name is T-Roy.
T-Roy or Troy.
He works for
T.
this company called Surge Events. That's
Surge
the
Events,
promotional
yeah,
company.
with the lightning bolt.
And here's the thing. So he used to book for House of Blues Los Angeles. And he used to run different of their rooms, the Voodoo Room and the Foundation Room. Or
Yes.
whatnot. Anyways, that first show, Molly Malone's, somebody was there. Anyway, they didn't
Representing his
they
company.
didn't come up to us that night.
No.
We received an email, I believe, the next day, saying, "Hey, do you guys be available to play at House of Blues for?" There was a red carpet. It was actually an event.
Yeah.
It was
We had hit it the big time.
It
Right
was
off our
awesome.
first show. Right? We were all nervous for our first show. By the way, our first show, right, was nerve-wracking at Molly Malone's.
I'll never
It was on a
forget it.
weeknight, wasn't it? I can't remember what,
I
but
believe it was a Monday night or something.
it was
odd.
scary. I don't remember the songs we played.
It was all off country. This one I remember because we played. I remember some
Country
of the songs
This
we
One.
played.
Molly Malone's Country This didn't exist.
I believe. No, I'm saying is that
The Swansons
I'm saying
won.
Swansons one album, very first album.
Yeah.
We played songs like
Y'all might not
Party.
know that we had
18
two albums
tracks,
prior
yeah.
to Country
Country
This.
This.
We had the Swansons debut,
Right.
Swansons
That was
self-titled.
in the beginning. 18 tracks.
My guitar's making some squeaky noises. And then also Good Day, which you can find online.
Yeah, that's right.
Good Day
We
and the
released that
Swansons,
in
the Swansons.
2016. That's
But
right.
then Country This came about. So we were doing the Swansons, and some songs that never even made that album we were probably
It was
performing.
our very first show live, which we spent about a year rehearsing.
We made an
and-
album first, didn't we?
We did for 2 weeks, 2 years. We worked in the studio recording before we ever.
I had to ask you, didn't we?
We didn't step foot on stage until 2 years after the creation of our
Yes.
band. The first 2 years we spent strictly in the studio and then just social media.
You probably didn't know that, did you, Vic?
We never performed live till 2014 was the first time we broke out onto the scene, and we've been going hard ever since.
So 2 years we spent in the studio. Literally, we were in the studio a lot, making this album, 18 tracks, doing a couple videos we did.
We weren't ready to perform live. That's why we had to prepare. We had to practice. We had to, I had never sang with a band before in my life. So it took all that practice and rehearsing before doing the very first show. And then once we started doing shows, that's where you can do all the practicing in the world. You have to get out there and experience the adversity that you face.
So we did at Molly Malone's,
Yeah.
and so we did well enough to attract the attention, right, of a promoter
Surge Events.
that wanted to book
That's
us.
right. It was the most amazing thing ever.
So we were thrilled, thinking, well, this is just the way it's going to go, right? We're on a roll now.
You do
Bing,
one
bang,
show,
boom.
and then somebody calls you for the next show. and-
That's right. That's just the way it works. So we've been doing this for 6 years now, right?
That's right. And even though they shut the doors there at House of Blues Los Angeles, he's kind of cozied into the spot over there at the Silverlake Lounge. And so have we.
Yes.
So I'd say we play there about 1 to 2 times in the year. So you can see us at the Silverlake Lounge.
This is the first time we brought a fiddle player into the Silverlake Lounge,
That's right.
which was really cool. We have Elias Schwartzman, who's just an awesome fiddle player. So he's been playing with us quite frequently lately.
Yeah. I was going to say he was on episode 7, I believe. Swansonville.
Yeah, check him out, Elias Schwartzman. He's a hell of a player, I'll tell you that. So, so we went, and it was very dark in there. Did you hear that? You guys hear that?
I heard it.
That means it's lunchtime.
Let's
No. No. So, we feel something?
Yeah.
45s on the radio, and I would use this flashlight that my Uncle Johnny got me from Japan as my microphone, and I would not lip sync. I would sing to the songs to the kids in the neighborhood.
So, Vic always gets, I don't know, he's carrying his cameras and stuff, so he's, they got to search him out and flag him down and threaten him with, all kinds of different things. And if you do this, then you're going to be in trouble, mister.
Basically, every place
and
says
you're not allowed to do
you're
this,
not allowed
but
to
do
video,
that, and you're fine.
but I'm not gonna look, so you can just.
So you got to
what I'm
imagine.
saying?
So this is the Silverlake Lounge, right? It's a dive bar. It's a dive bar. You know what I mean?
Who doesn't
And
love
so,
a good
but
vibe
they
dive
still
bar?
the same rules apply. So this is what Vic has. This is what Vic gets. I just so the audience knows. So he gets the typical rundown. But Troy's a good guy, right? So T's telling him the heads up, and the heads up is this: listen, man. And sorry, I'm calling this out, but this is the behind the scenes stuff. He's whispering, "Hey, man, listen. You can bring the camera in, man, but pretend I didn't see it, right, Vic? Pretend I didn't see it. As long as I didn't see it, you guys are good, right? You guys are good, right? Okay, you got to understand, Vic's got loads of equipment, right? Vic's like, yep, gotcha. So what does Vic do?
I know, this
He
is
goes down to the
hilarious.
front and sets up his gigantic light and tripod.
I know, I was going to say, he didn't leave the light on the whole time, but for a couple songs, he'd flip on this gigantic light that's like this big. It's shining bright, it's like illuminating
It
the
looks
whole
like we're filming a
stage.
TV show.
It's amazing.
Vic's on at the DL,
All
right?
I kept thinking was, oh yeah, keep the light on, because this is good for pictures,
Yeah.
you know? It was awesome.
So we were able to get some really good photographs and video.
And no one told them to put it away, so thank you.
And it's a rare occasion where you and I don't get an opportunity to move around very much. You need a lot of room. You're a very energetic performer, and we were confined to a very small space over there at the Silverlake Lounge.
It was good, so I had to do more facials.
Yeah.
You know.
We were
So did you
elbow
notice more
to elbow.
facials in the videos on Vic? More crazy looks? Okay, let me get something really going. Let's hit some blues.
What do you mean?
I want to get something good going.
You gotta be so dramatic about your entrance there. Not feeling it today, huh?
I have to get there. You gotta give me time to get there.
Let's
You
try.
know?
Just try a little.
You,
Just more with a nice.
you always just want to be like so.
Here, just wind it down. Yeah. Nice. So that was a great time at the Silverlake Lounge, and then we have. You got any trivia from the Swansons lyric book?
Let's see what we can find. Let's see what we can share.
We are in the process of making the next lyric book for our new upcoming album.
Bam! That's right. We're working on the cover,
Working
the
on
album cover right now.
You might want to pre-order that thing when it comes available.
It's coming quick. And we
Let me
got
get to my camera, a better angle here.
photo shoot planned tomorrow,
That's right.
and we're gonna shoot a video at the same time.
I've got a little trivia, aside from what you're looking up there, a little Willie Nelson trivia, right? Everybody ready for a little Willie? A little Willie trivia? Yeah?
I love Willie. I love me some Willie.
Willie, Willie used to be a Bible salesman.
Really?
That's the trivia I got. Willie also wrote his first song at age 7. What else about Willie? I got another piece of trivia about Willie.
I was just
We
gonna
will be working with Willie's granddaughter.
Yeah, we'll be performing.
What?
We'll be sharing the stage with Willie Nelson's granddaughter, Raylan.
Raylan Nelson.
Very talented. She's singer, songwriter, ukulele player, and she's got 2 bands.
Yes.
We played with one of her other bands in
did.
the past at the Whiskey called And we're looking forward to playing with the Raylan Nelson band over at the Whiskey. And then hopefully I was thinking maybe we'd even ask her to be on the podcast one of these days and have her
right.
interview if she'd be open to it. I don't know. We'll see.
We may just ask her right there on the spot, right?
I think we should.
We may look for that. And where are we playing with them? At the
The
Whiskey
Whiskey.
A Go-Go on the Sunset Strip. Lots of fun. What's your trivia?
I was going to say Joe Finley of the Swansons began playing guitar at age 7.
Whoa.
And started writing songs as a young teenager.
Ah.
So age 7.
My mom says it was earlier than that.
Something in
Or
common with Willie.
I have
Age
a
7,
few things in
7.
common with Willie.
What do you want to say?
What would you like to
no.
sing? Did you?
Wait, we don't want to sing yet.
What are we talking about?
We have a special guest. We haven't even told that we're going to
We're
be.
signing off. We haven't even introduced our special guest.
We have to introduce our special guest here today, guys.
We are very, very, very excited, privileged, honored to have a friend who just became a friend of ours, a new friend to Swansonville, and we would like to, introduce him to our audience here today. His name is Kevin R. Scholl. Please welcome Kevin. Hey.
Everybody, welcome back to Swansonville. We are here with our very special guest today. No longer a mystery to y'all. This is our friend and fellow musician who we actually met at the NAMM show not too long ago. He is Kevin R. Scholl. Say hello to Kevin.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome to Swansonville.
Welcome to Swansonville.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Honored to be here. I'm excited.
We're going to talk to you about all kinds of
Yeah, we
things.
just met you. We don't know a lot about you. So
We're about to find out a whole bunch of things, aren't we?
kick it off.
Let's kick it off. Let's find out a little bit about your upbringing. Where are you from?
Born in Worcester,
What?
Where?
Massachusetts.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, I've got
Wow.
a lot of friends from there. Most of my family's still from there.
And where's that compared to Boston?
Close.
Close to Boston.
Yeah,
So
close
suburb?
to Boston. Yeah.
Suburb.
I should know it by the map, but I moved when I was 3. But I was born in the hospital of Worcester. We lived in a town of Upton, little tiny town where my grandfather was actually chief of police from, I think, 65 to 69.
wow.
Most of my relatives, yeah, it's pretty cool. I got goosebumps. Most of my family still lives out there. Some of them migrate to Florida during the winter.
Okay.
But most of them, all my cousins and stuff, basically are back there outside of, I think, one. And then we moved. My dad was a salesman. My dad's like the unknown Zig Ziglar of the
wonderful.
sales world. Yeah, he could sell ice to an Eskimo, literally. Anyways, we moved from Massachusetts to Washington State, lived there for a few years. It's like 4 and 5. And then we moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma for a couple of years. Went through Tornadoville.
Yeah, East Coast, West Coast,
Yeah.
Midwest. So you were in all the regions.
Yep. Then we went to Phoenix, Arizona for 8 months. My dad got hired to be one of the vice presidents. Actually, he got the state of Colorado, sold outdoor electrical signs for a company called Gulf Development. So we moved to Littleton, Colorado for about a year and a half. That was awesome, my favorite place as a kid. Then he got to be one of the 3 vice presidents in Torrance, so we moved to Long Beach. So I went from all that to Long Beach, California in late 1975. And then I've been in California since, been moving around.
Was that something that you enjoyed as a child, going from place to place? You were never really rooted.
Yeah.
So you're moving from friends to different friends to different friends.
Yes
How was
and
it?
no.
I guess, yeah,
Yes
I was
and
going to
no.
say, I guess if that's all you know, and then you adapt to it, right?
Yeah, I'm envious of friends who have had friends from kindergarten and are now, my age, 55.
Yes.
And I know that school-wise, it definitely had an impact. Mostly in math, but that might have not been the move, but it's
You're
stigma.
blaming the move on that.
Yeah.
But overall, it was good. There's great memories that I have. I have good stories to tell. And so could have been stuck in one, podunk town for all my life and never had any adventure. So we
Yeah,
had
there's a
all
lot
kinds
of
of
experience.
adventures.
I moved around a little bit myself too, and from East Coast to West Coast, and
Oh yeah, great.
some shocking experiences. In the,
I would
in the moving world.
say there's pros and cons to it, right? So
Yeah.
you get to experience things that, like you said, somebody who's where they're at, they don't ever get to experience
Agreed.
that. Different things that you got to experience, but then you're also missing out on the stuff that they get to. So
Yeah.
you can't have both best words, but the best thing is it shapes you to who you are. But did you have any siblings or anything?
A brother, Keith, he passed away December 6th, 2013.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, he pancreatic cancer. Basically, just a little over a year from diagnosis to passing. And the great thing is, though, God's really good. And the next year, December 6th of 2014, my first grandson, Brentley Cash Scholl, was born. I got goosebumps.
Wow.
So,
Congratulations on that.
yeah, praise the Lord. We have 6. But,
6 grandchildren.
yeah, woohoo!
Oh, yeah,
But,
the Lord is great.
Oh, amen
And
to
God
that.
is great, and it's a
Yep.
great, wonderful thing that You know, you just went right off that horrible subject and just lifted it right up with the Lord by saying,
He's my
amazing.
one and only. So.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
So, traveling around from place to place, at what point in time did you discover music? We know you've got a lot of music.
Yeah, singing was my first. We lived in Oklahoma, and in our second house in Oklahoma, you know, the Partridge Family's huge, Bobby Sherman, the Osmonds, Michael Jackson, Gilbert O'Sullivan. So I had 45s in the radio, and I would use this flashlight that my Uncle Johnny got me from Japan as my microphone, and I would not lip sync. I would sing to the songs to the kids in the neighborhood. So that was my first, so about 1970 is when I recognized in my head.
Did you sing One Bad Apple? Remember that song?
One bad apple won't for the whole one's girl.
Oh, give me one more shot. Yeah. I was doing a little Donnie
Great
back
stuff.
then, you know.
No, I
I
think
can
we
relate
all
to some of
were.
the things that you're saying
We
there,
all
you know.
were.
Yeah.
So
that
vocals
kind of
hit
sparked
first.
your interest.
Yeah, and then
What age were you about that time?
70, I was like 7.
Okay.
And I was born
So
in
from
63.
a very early age,
Yeah.
you loved music.
Yep.
And when did the instruments come in? into play?
Littleton, Colorado. I started on the trumpet. I don't know if I got bored with it, but I quit, switched to snare drum, and then we moved. And then in Long Beach, we went to SeaWorld one day, and prior to doing that, my brother opened up the Here and There album from Elton John. It's a live album that he did back then. And there's Nigel Olson's drum set, Dee Murray's jazz bass, and there's Davy Johnstone's black gold embroidered Les Paul. And I went, I want to play that. So on the way back from SeaWorld, we stopped at a music store, and my dad bought me my first Yamaha acoustic. I took a year of lessons from a guy named Marty at Guitars of Fire in Long Beach. And
awesome.
yeah, and
I
the
love
rest
that.
is just a God-given talent. It went from acoustic to then bass when I was 16. When I was 26, I started playing the keys. I've been playing the drums since about 1976. I'd put my headphones on in my brother's room to his set and listen to Led Zeppelin, Bad Company, Van Halen, and so I play 4, but acoustic and the bass and vocals are my strong
Who were
points.
some of your early influences? You mentioned some of the Led Zeppelin and whatnot.
Steve Miller Band.
Steve Miller
Oh,
Band.
wonderful.
I used to have that tape of the Joker album.
Okay.
Paul McCartney and Wings.
Great.
Was huge. Three Dog Night.
Yes, not 3 times.
I do a pretty good, I don't try to do an impersonation, but I have the vocal inflection. I love Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
So I Am, I Said, Play Me,
Yeah.
love it. So
Great,
a lot of
great
and
talent.
Elton John's my number one. I do a lot of my
Yes,
vocal
he's-
inflections and phrasings from him.
He's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of my all-time favorites. I've been a big fan for a long time. In fact, I saw him for the first time. Oh boy, I don't even want to say what year it was. Don't do it, Joe. A long time ago, and it was right after John Lennon had been assassinated, and it was a very emotional concert at the Hollywood Bowl. And then I had the pleasure of seeing him with the dueling pianos with Billy Joel, and that was a pretty
Nice.
incredible concert. So you get into music, right? So what do you do with it? Did you take lessons from anybody?
Marty, Guitars of Fire, for a year.
Okay, that- you
He
mentioned that.
taught me some bar chords and how to play this Kiss song, this Bad Company song, and I just kind of took it from there. We were talking earlier about our own styles of music. I should know 1,000 more chords than I do,
Yeah.
but I get stuck in a rut. Anyways, so yeah, lessons for a year.
Yeah. So you had aspirations of joining a band or starting a band or what?
Yeah, I was in my
Excuse
first
me, let
band.
me get a drink from this
Yeah,
marvelous.
You're fine.
when was your first
Country
band?
stuff.
First band was with my brother on drums. I was on rhythm guitar and vocals. It was called Tomorrow's News, and our friend Tom Haynes, who I went to NAMM with, he was there with me.
Yeah.
Actually, he was around the corner when I met you guys at the NAMM show, and our first gig was at St. Barnabas Catholic School, and at the dance. and so I had a SG copy, and I got to, my solo was playing the beginning of Smoke on the Water. And I used to do co-lead vocal on Some Kind of Wonderful by Grand Funk Railroad.
Oh, okay.
I can't do all the super high parts, but I can rock the rest of it.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Now, you have any recording experience?
Yes.
You do?
Not a ton, but I've done some stuff at Orange Studios years ago with a guy named G. Navarro. He has a songwriting deal with Sony. He lives in Palm Springs now, I think. And then I've done some other stuff. We did some work with a guy that used to do recordings and engineering for Mr. Mister in the Burbank area before they hit it big. I did an EP with a band of mine that was called 4 on 1 with Diane Katz.
Hey.
Hi, Diane. And we actually got to open for Berlin June of '83 at Raincross Square here in Riverside.
Wow,
That was my big.
What? We got a connection. The Berlin connection.
Berlin.
The Berlin. We opened
It
for
was one
Berlin.
of our
Oh, nice.
first shows
Right on.
at
Look
the
how many
Canyon
years
at the
apart.
Rose.
Oh, neat.
83,
June of '83.
and we opened for
Gosh,
them in
ours
2018 and 2017.
15. It was, I'm saying the first one that we did with them was back in 2016 or even.
They were great.
We did no pictures. No one took pictures. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
that was back in the day.
Terry Nunn hasn't aged a day. And
Yes.
she's still as beautiful as ever.
Right on.
And my goodness, she probably looks better now. Right? Didn't she?
Yeah,
She
she
looked
looks-
like
she
a
looks
million
great.
bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
She
sure.
sounds great. Looks great. That's a pretty awesome experience. Any other notables that you've performed?
That
with?
was my biggest as far as playing out. I did the Hollywood circuit with 4 on 1. We used to play Gazzari's a lot, other places in Hollywood. We would play back in the 80s, around 83, 84.
We may have bumped into each
I
other.
know.
a time or
Very
two.
possible.
Yeah.
What was the name of the band?
4 on 1.
411. Okay.
Yeah, and then in other bands that I played in, we would play the Woodstock, the French Quarter, Radio City in Anaheim. What's that biker bar that's got the bridge over the river down in almost San Clemente? It's
Not certain.
you all know what I'm talking about. There's a place down there, and we actually played on this bridge over the water.
Oh, cool.
And so just backyard parties to Orange County to Hollywood, played all around, done some of my own, concerts at a coffee shop here and there.
So you write
Cool.
songs as well?
I do.
You do?
Been writing since I've been about 13 years old. I love it. It's one of my absolute passions.
That's
it.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
that's the one. So when you write, do you have a particular style of writing? I mean, how do you approach writing a song?
Comes in different ways. Sometimes when there's Christian lyrics involved, being a Christian, I was on the radio. I was in my vehicle driving on the 10 freeway downtown Hollywood one day, and I was listening to a pastor on the radio, and he said, we're all just one step away from eternity, or one breath away from eternity. And all of us, I'm driving stick shift, and I turn one of my worksheets over, someone's receipt, and I'm writing lyrics and watching.
Yeah.
I went home, finished the lyric, jumped on my keyboard, and 30 minutes later I got a song. But most times it's on the acoustic or the bass, but predominantly my acoustic guitar. Sometimes my electric.
Do you go into it with an intention, or do you just stumble upon it?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yes and no. I've become more intentional as I've gotten older, realizing that I don't have to get it all out in 30 minutes. When I was younger, it normally would spark with an idea, and then it just dumps, and it came out so easy. It's a little more labored nowadays because I'm just not as I'm not going to say proficient. I think I've gotten better as I've gotten older, but I'm not as much practiced in writing so much, and I also miss. We were talking about collaborating earlier. I miss that point, so I'll get to a certain point and go, man, I wish I had a second brain or voice on this to speak to this right now. But most times, not intentional.
Not intentional, but if you find yourself finding the time to discipline yourself to write as a songwriter, don't you feel that sort of enhances the moment when it arrives?
Oh, absolutely. And I had just mentioned, as I've gotten older, I've become more intentional. One of my goals for this year is to be more intentional in my music, to play out more, be it solo or in a band. And I haven't written a lot of new stuff. It's been real sparse. So I said, you know what? Why don't I start working on an EP? So it's in baby stages, but I've got 4 really strong ideas. I haven't started the keyboard one yet, but I've got kind of like a big epic kind of Pink Floyd, big, I don't know how to explain it.
That was pretty good,
Floyd type of tune, big and epic. And I want to have a ballad. I want to have a song written on the keyboards, and then a real rocker. And I've got some people through my Tsunami Cable family that I've already talked to in regards to collaboration.
Oh,
and,
very good.
If you want, I'd love to sit down with you.
I would be happy to do that.
That would be super awesome.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing that on as many occasions as I can fit into our schedule.
I know. I miss the band element, and then the core members of the band that actually write, being involved in that noodling and working and grinding and bringing it to fruition. I miss that a lot.
Yeah, it's very inspirational.
Absolutely.
That's why what I was telling you earlier about writing several songs off this new album with the Swansons, Bam, right? Bam, right? To Jim Riley's beats, because to have that, it does something to your soul, You're a bass player.
Agreed,
so you're holding it down. There's something that the bass and the drums do that stimulates the rest of the
absolutely
the players and senses and whatnot. So we appreciate the bass player. You play guitar now. You play drums. You play them all equally as well.
I'm probably a better bass player than I am an acoustic guitar player. I'm a pretty good acoustic player. I'm a decent, good electric guitar player. I can play leads. I can't play other people's leads per se. A little snippet here or there, but if you listen to my music outside of 1 or 2 songs, it's all me and my drum machine. I don't have the ability to mic a whole drum set, but I can do it. I can't read charts on keyboards. I just play my own thing. I can't play other people's music, and drums I'm pretty good at. Pretty straightforward rock drummer.
We talked about you playing bass for the Swansons sometime.
That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be an honor.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that would be great. Let's step away from the music. Or do you want to
No, I'm ready to move right on because I got a question. Let's get personal.
Let's get personal.
You mentioned that you said you were married, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Near and dear to my heart. I'll try not to cry. I've gotten more weepy as I've gotten older.
That's okay.
I've been married to my wife, Sue Evangeline Doughton, her maiden name. It'll be 20 years this October 9th.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Wow, look at
Praise
you.
the Lord, yeah.
20 years.
Yep. And it's round 2 for me. Got married when I was, I think, 22, a long time ago, and it's a whole story. I won't go there. It didn't work out. And
We'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah, another broadcast. ABC Sunday Night Movie waiting to happen. But no, God's just really good. Answered my prayers in bringing just an amazing, amazing woman who can deal and put up with all that is this.
All that is Kevin Arshall.
You don't know me yet. My anxieties and.
Yes.
But yeah,
I have a wonderful woman right here. That
Amen.
She handles a big old heap and load of this thing we call Joe Finley. This beautiful mess.
Exactly. Hey, that's a good one. Hear that, baby?
It was one of our first
I'm a big, beautiful mess, and we know this. So, well, that's great. Yeah.
So I'm happy to hear. So 20 years, congratulations. Have you guys had any children?
We do. We have one between us. His name is Elijah Aiden, and he'll be 12 in March.
Cool.
This coming month. I have 2 children from my first marriage. Tabitha, she's 29, and Joshua, he is 28. They both have 3 grandkids. And
Each,
so,
yeah.
we
Wonderful.
have Tabitha and Tommy have Presley, Parker, and Abigail, and Josh and Amanda have Brentley, Bailey, and Bowden.
Wow,
and they
cool. Your babies. Do they live
Grandpa's
here in
happy
Southern
place.
California?
Yes,
Wonderful.
all
So you
real
get
close
see-
to us.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Awesome.
what do you guys like to do as a family?
Right.
What do you do when you're
You still got the little one at home, the
yeah.
12-year-old. Oh, he's not that little, but
he's up to here. I'm 6 feet tall. And he's not
do you
even
guys
12.
do music together? Or,
Elijah likes to play. It's not in his wheelhouse right now. I'd like to build a music room that's soundproofed so that we could play. He plays the drums. He's been playing since he's about 1. He's taken piano lessons and he was advancing at that. He didn't dig the guitar. I think it was more of an age thing when he was like 7 or 8. But I look forward to, as he gets older here, introducing more to him. I think he's got the talent.
We have
to
a
do
little
it.
drummer known as Sky in our family, a little
Nice.
6-year-old drummer. He's been playing since he exited the
same
womb.
age, one-
I found a little
2
drum
years
set out
old.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he finished
one's-
that. He plays
yeah.
this one now.
And then he
Nice.
has an electronic one,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
which is great for learning and noise for their ears. But
Yeah, no,
it's
I
good to
agree.
get the music involved with the kids. I feel like it helps even with school stuff too.
Oh, I would agree.
It's good for the spirit too, and you must enjoy playing with your child. You know, with the music and the
Well,
other.
that's what I was going to ask. So obviously you're a Christian. You guys attend church, obviously. Do you play in the church band? At
Yeah,
all?
I've been part of a worship team and leading worship since 1999, 98.
wonderful.
No,
Wow,
actually,
that's a long time.
Cool.
No, back farther than that.
Even longer.
96. 96 is when I
1996,
first started getting
23
involved.
years.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's a big passion.
What church?
Right now we are back with our old family, Crosswinds. It's where we got married. Crosswinds Church in Moreno Valley.
Marina Valley. Oh,
And we were married there. My wife had attended there 10 years before we met and got married. And so it was just a natural fit when I moved down to marry her. And so,
Are you a football fan?
oh yeah.
Patriots?
They're one of my secondary teams. I know my family's going to chew me
Oh,
for that one.
I had to call you out.
I've been a Pittsburgh Steeler fan hardcore since about 74.
Wow.
I've got a few sub teams that I like as well as them, and a few teams that
Yeah.
But I'm predominantly a Steeler fan.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a Patriots fan, and
Nice.
I'm a fan of several teams, the 49ers and
Yeah,
the
we
Bears.
have a slew of
Yeah,
we have a
teams
slew of
anyway.
teams.
Bears is one of my
Chargers, you know.
secondary team. Mhm.
Yeah, we love a lot of teams, which is cool. When the Super Bowl rolls around, there's a pretty good chance that one of our teams will be in it. You know?
Yeah,
So that's nice.
great.
So I want to go back to the church thing just one more time.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned something about a Christian song that just kind of flowed out of you. Is that? Do you write Christian music?
There's Christian themed music that I definitely write since I got saved, and there's also stuff that doesn't take on that Christian theme lyrically. It's just about life, love songs, you know. But yeah, there's probably my favorite one is a song called "Take Me Now." It was a song I wrote back in about 2007 when I was in Arizona, and I recorded it on my Tascam.
Very
And
cool.
so I'll play it for you one day. I know the one you're talking about, A Breath Away from Eternity. It's called Eternity, and I did it with my former band, Forthright. We're a 3-piece power rock Christian band.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was good. 3-part harmonies. We all sang lead. The harmonies were really stellar, and we were good at what we did.
That's cool.
Speaking of harmonies, do you like the Eagles?
Love, one of my favorites, absolutely.
Okay, I just need to check.
Yeah,
See if we're going to be
had
friends
to
or
make
not.
sure.
That was
Oh,
a friend check. Little friend check.
I love Tequila Sunrise. There's a couple of songs that when I do something solo that I'll pull out from them.
Desperado's been one of my all-time favorites.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a staple
Great stuff.
in his
We
life.
saw the Eagles at the Forum.
Forum. Amazing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a great show.
Cool.
So what else we got here? We saw you at the NAMM show. What are you doing at the NAMM show over there? Just browsing around?
Last year I went with, thank you, Cliff. I endorsed a couple of products, gear, if you will. the Nightwalker bass guitar tube preamp. I met Cliff last year, and I helped him at the booth. And that was my re-entrance to the world, because I hadn't been since 1987. Last year,
Oh, wow.
2018.
First year
That's
back.
a long time.
I know, right?
Like 20 years, right?
I know. So last year I was just like, oh, there's a rock star over there. And so I got all that out. This year, I'm also part of the Tsunami Cable family. Thank you, Keith.
All right.
And so I was with them this year, been getting to know a lot of great people. I was actually able to, through another friend of mine, get my friend Tom Haynes, who was in my first band, because he hadn't been since my brother took him almost 20 years ago. So we went nuts. I got goosebumps. I'm a wreck a month before and a month after, because I'm like on cloud 199. It's an overkill in a great way of the senses. I mean, all the instruments, all the people, all the stuff. They give stickers.
You just had me hypnotized. Did you see that? I was
I'm
like,
Did
It's-
you
I just wanna live
stay
there.
the 4 days? Did you stay the
I
whole
did.
time?
I
Cool.
went 3 days last year. Tom and I rented, and my wife's awesome. My wife rented us a like a little mother-in-law quarters, like the size of this room here, right down the street from where I used to live in Garden Grove when I was a kid, my latter years of high school. And so we had that place for 4 days, and the host family was just dynamite. And so it was
did you
wonderful.
play any music down there?
Yeah, we did. He brought his guitar, I brought mine. So I haven't, through the years, Tom was at my first wedding in December of '85. And outside of a phone call or here, something like that, when I was at my brother's house, we hadn't seen each other. So since my brother's passing, I've kind of re-established that friendship with Tom, and vice versa. So we brought our guitars and played and hung at NAMM and went and ate food and saw an old friend of ours, and it was just
Yeah, it was,
That's
it was
awesome.
our first time, and we spent just
wow.
the one
We
day,
just only went 1 day.
And it was
Because
just,
that's what
it
we
was
did, but-
sensory overload.
Oh, yeah.
From the entrance to the exit.
And we didn't even, I don't even think we would say
We
that we
barely
saw
scratched the
an
surface.
eighth of
Yeah.
like the entire thing, because it's
You
so
can't.
big. But we were only there 1 day, and it was like even a half day. Like
Yeah.
we didn't even stay like the whole time. And we were walking in circles, I felt a little bit, because you get
We
lost.
did a few times.
I got
Everything kind of
lost.
looks the same, and then next thing you know, you're in
We
another
lost
area.
Vic, didn't we, Vic?
I bet you we walked 5 miles a day.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm going to wear my
The
petameter.
bit thing, yeah. Heck yeah. Count those
Yeah,
steps.
exercise. So you'd walk. Did you say that? Was that for real? Was that a joke?
Oh, no, I walk for a living.
No.
Do you do your exercise? Do you get your steps?
Oh, yes
you-
and no. I find it tedious to wear that thing
Yeah.
What do you mean you walk for a living?
during my day job.
Oh, okay.
I'm a solicitor for a commercial door company.
Oh, there you go.
And so I go door to door. I
Oh,
love
so
it.
you do a lot of walking.
I love it, though.
Yeah.
I have a great time.
Yeah, we started our exercise program several years ago, walking exclusively for a while until I could
So we start jogging.
start jogging. Now we're running full speed ahead. Sweet. Be fit. Yay, bye. So here we are today. You've got all this musical experience. You've got the EP that you're working on. You're going to be doing some collaborations with some people, such as myself, the Swansons,
Yep.
and we'll be working on something. Anything else you got going on in the future that you'd like to talk about, tell our fans about?
My wife gifted me with a .com
Really?
last Christmas, yes.
Sweet.
So if I can shout it out,
Yes, please
Go
do.
ahead.
KevinSchollMusic.com. Woohoo!
KevinSchollMusic.com.
So I got a blog that I need to write more on there.
There you go.
Got the gallery of photos.
Was I saying your name incorrectly with adding the S of Scholl's?
It's singular, Scholl.
Scholl.
Shoal.
You're good.
Pardon me.
No worries.
I was saying Scholl's, I believe.
It's all right.
Let me change my
It's a
phone.
lot better than when I was in school with all the moving and substitute teachers. I've had people call me school, skull, shawl, shall. I'm thinking, have you not heard of the footpad guy? Come on.
Rock
So
and
you're
roll
fine.
Scholl.
Shoals.
Yeah.
yeah.
Rock and roll Scholl.
I like that.
Rock
rock and roll
So,
show.
no, you're all good.
Awesome. We'll make sure we'll put that up for our fans.
So yeah, I have the new website. I'm trying to promote that and get that going. I haven't loaded all of my recorded music and stuff like that on. I'm kind of doing that slowly. I have a giveaway going. I want to get my YouTube site up going, but you can't get youtube.com/Kevin Scholl until you have over 100 followers.
That's
so
right.
I would like followers on YouTube.
That's right, yes.
So I'm not ampersand dot greater than sign exclamation blah 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 blah. It looks stupid in a tag, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember.
So I know, right? Here, write this down.
Yeah. But Kevin Scholl,
Music.com.
music.com is
Yeah.
not. That's very simple.
good.
Yep.
Rock and roll with Kevin Scholl at kevinscholl.com.
Music.com.
Music.com, yes, sorry.
No, you're
It's like
fine.
the Swanson music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
SwansonMusic.com, kevinschollmusic.com.
It's exciting.
Yeah, man. We're excited to have you here, man, brother. And
I'm blessed
Thank you.
and grateful.
just telling you that we can't wait to have you on stage with us, and we're looking forward to that. And we really deeply appreciate you being here in Swansonville.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
friends
you.
of us.
I need to give a shout out to my friend Gary.
Please
Do it.
Gary
Yeah.
I
Holdsworth.
want to talk about
Gary,
that real quick. This
Gary
is-
Holdsworth is
yeah,
why I
this
know
is
these
a
two.
Fog. Gary called a Fog. Friend of Gary.
That's right.
He's
This
a
is
fog of
friend
mine.
Gary, that's the connection. Everything in Swansonville, like in our world, is interconnected, and that's
Yeah.
our connection here to the Swansons is through
That's right.
Gary Holdsworth.
Gary.
So,
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
and have a great
and we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. God bless you, my friend.
Lord bless you, too.
And thank you for being in Swansonville.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Have a great day.
Welcome back, everybody, to Swansonville. That was our friend Kevin R. Scholl here in Swansonville. Hey, if any of you musicians or people of any kind of interest would like to, well, enter Swansonville and have
That's
a talk
right.
with us, we're looking to interview some people just like you, man. So let us know your story. Contact us through our website, theswansonsmusic.com, and we will consider having you as one of our special mystery guests.
And
So,
welcome to Swansonville Podcast.
That's right. But Kevin, what a great guy, man.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. We
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Okay, well, last week in Swansonville, we tried something new, calling
Uncle Weezy.
our Uncle Weezy, Uncle Wayne, the great American hero. And we're going to try again today, see what Uncle Weezy has to say about what? Love, life, Lord.
Hey, it's Uncle Weezy.
Hey!
What's up, Uncle Weezy? It's Swansonville.
Hey,
Welcome to Swansonville.
hey, I'm back in Swansonville. It's great to be back.
Well, happy to have you
Happy
here.
to have you. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling nice today.
Today's a good day.
Yeah, it is. It is a good day.
We were having a conversation about God today, about the Lord, and,
About God?
yeah, and how impactful the Lord has been in our lives. So we just wanted to ask you how the Lord has affected your life.
Well, I was going down the wrong road, and one day the Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on my door. I had never read a Bible before, so I stuck with them for like 4 years, but I couldn't do the door knocking thing.
Yeah, right.
But I got the message and I got the education, and I'm on my third time now reading the Bible, and that's it for me.
That's awesome. So, is it? Do you want to reread it again because you feel like you learn something new each time you go through it?
Well, actually, it's a very hard book to understand.
Yes.
So the first time that I read it with my Jehovah Witness instructors, and then the second time that I read it, I understood it more.
Very good.
And now the third time that I'm reading it, I read it in Ben's room where his ashes are, and I read him a chapter a day. So I'm on my third time.
Well, that's nice. That must be peaceful for you.
And a time that
Well,
you
there
can
was-
actually connect with Ben, right? Because Ben is passed now. So do you feel like it's a chance that when you read the Bible to him, it's a chance for you and him to connect at that moment?
Yes, and God bless Ben, my Uncle Wayne is referring to my cousin Ben Wong, who left us too soon, but he's in a better place. That's
Well, see, what I'm down to believing now is that's the only way. If I keep my faith, that's the only way I'm ever going to have a chance to be with him again.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
Well, you've been an inspiration to me, Uncle Wayne, and I thank the Lord for you in my life. And we just wanted to say hello again and welcome you to Swansonville and talk to you a little bit about something that we're covering today in our episode of Welcome to Swansonville.
Yes.
Oh, so this is the end of the podcast?
This is it.
This is the end.
This is it.
This
This
is
is the big crescendo. This is the big bam boom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is it, man.
How's my boy Sky?
He's
doing
doing
great.
Yeah. He's going to a
Great.
science fair
I'll
right
be
now.
keeping my eye on him.
Man, he loves you so much.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right,
cool.
Uncle Weezy, we will talk to you again next week when we welcome you back again to
Yes.
Swansonville.
Thank you so much for answering.
Okay.
We appreciate
It's been great to be in Swansonville tonight.
Awesome.
All right, Uncle Wayne, peace.
All right, goodbye.
Peace
Love
out.
you.
Bye-bye.
Uncle Weezy, Uncle Wayne, great American hero. And so, in closing today, we'll sing a little something like we normally do.
Something off country this.
Something off country this. And we also want to say, convey our appreciation and our thanks to everybody for joining us every week and continuing to join in the fun. And let your friends know what's happening, and let's keep the party going.
That's right.
And so this song that we're going to do is what?
We're wrapping up episode 12. We're going to sing Let's Talk.
We'll sing Let's Talk. All right.
And a one, and a two, yeah.
She got my feeling on fire, about 20 pounds a day. She got a part of my problems, they're never going away. She gonna find my feelings, sometimes appearing like stone. About the best advice that I could give you, baby, leave me alone.
He keeps on telling me I holler, and that I get in his way. If I'm a part of his problem, it's never going away. I give him everything he wanted, I keep on telling him so, But you can't teach a man what a man don't already know.
We got a lot of learning, needing to unfold. If both of us would listen, would you please put down your phone? Let's talk and dance, tune into a romance. We all deserve a second chance. Please give this dog a bone. It's love that lasts. I'm over everything that's past. All I wanna do is laugh and let this all be gone. Let's talk.
That's probably,
Let's talk.
That's probably the wrong key, but that's okay.
From country this, y'all.
Yeah, Let's Talk. I love that song. And I
Well,
love you.
I love you,
And
man.
we love you guys.
We love y'all. Thank you for joining in. And we'll see y'all again next week. Peace. God bless. Bye-bye. That's the right chord. You got the right harmonica? Let's finish now. Good.